Getting grant funding can be hard, especially if you don't understand what the funders are looking for. It's even more difficult and compounded when they won't tell you why they didn't select your grant proposal. So here enters FundReady. Today I want to share with you a little bit about the Core 4 Intensive. That is the level 2 workshop that I offer. This is the intro to that workshop. And I'd like to tell you that the Core 4 is a very important part of your proposal pack. That deals with your theory of change. It deals with your logic model, your budget that ties to the logic model, the theory of change, and your programs. And then we wrap it up with your impact narrative. And basically, we look at this like a data analyst would, which I was for a couple of decades. We're taking all of the information from your programs, which you have and you hold and you know, and we are going to turn that into the kind of language that grant funders are looking for. Funders are speaking a corporate language. So they understand dollars and cents, and they understand it in a way that's different from a nonprofit or a nonprofit leader who is boots on the ground getting things done, administering programs, hiring people, not having enough hands, not having enough money, lacking resources often, and having to figure out how to make operations work every single day. I know how challenging it is to try to take what you do and put it in the language that they understand. So that's what the workshop does for you. That is what we do together. I will walk with all of you, each of you in the workshop, in our cohort, and we will develop your programs into fundable language, fundable proposals. We're going to spend 16 hours together over 2 weekends, 4 hours per day. That is why it's an intensive. That allows us time to work on your plans, and it gives you the opportunity to ask questions and to learn from one another. When you're seeking funding in the $25,000 and beyond, sometimes you can get community grants, community foundation grants, and they don't require some of these things. But most institutional grant funders require these elements in your grant proposal. When you think about a theory of change, that's just giving them a bird's eye view, a high level visual of how change happens. So it just tells them in one picture, one snapshot, what you do, why you do it, who it helps, and how it impacts their lives. And then the logic model is the process map. It just tells them how you make it happen. Because in the business world, in the Fortune 500 world, they understand process maps. They understand business process mapping because they have to do it for every single process in their enterprise. When it comes to the data, which comes out of your programs should be measured, the performance should be measured. You should have baseline data. You should have key performance indicators. That is the funder's language. Those are things that have built into your organization where you have created your own operating system. Then applications for grant funding become a no-brainer. You won't have to think about, how do I apply for this grant? You'll already have the foundation, the mechanics, and the operating system to do so. That is what I help you build. The core 4 is the belly of the fish. And when you've got the mechanics established like a well-oiled machine, everything else just works. Everything else about your proposal flows from there. On the front end, you have your administrative stuff, administrative operations, information about your board, certifications, licensing, documentation, all those things every nonprofit needs to have. But it's the programs that need to be articulated into the language that funders understand, because it's the programs that they're funding. It's the outcomes of those programs and the impact that you're claiming you're able to make that they are interested in funding. So I hope that this was helpful. All of the information is in the event description, and this is something that's going to outlast your leadership, honestly. This is just the beginning of what is going to help you manage your information, help you to develop your body of knowledge, which is your library, your resource or set of resources for all things in your organization. That is where all of the knowledge that anyone who's going to touch anything in your organization, that's where all that knowledge is going to come from. This is just the belly, the most important component or set of components. I hope that you will join me in a workshop. And if you weren't in the AI powered workshop and you want to start there, by all means, start there, because each workshop builds on the previous one so you don't lose out, and you're always going to be grant ready at some level at the end of my workshops. My name is Stephanie. I'm the founder of FundReady, and I look forward to seeing you in a workshop soon. Thank you.